Hello and welcome or welcome back. Today we're just going to be playing some more Killing Floor 2 and just talking about stuff. So, yeah, I'll stop rambling and we'll get right into it. Yeah, spooky. Thank y'all for chilling, by the way, as always. Aw, aw, aw. There we go. All the way over there. Come on now. Yeah, I watched a movie that just like caught my eye. It wasn't the movie that I was planning on watching, but I was just like, you know what? That one looks interesting. And I judged a book by its cover, and it was interesting, to say the least, I guess. Oh, come on, man. Y'all might have heard of it. The movie came out in like 2017. It's called VelociPastor, and it is what it sounds like. It is. We'll get into it in a minute. I don't know how long I'm going to be talking about it for. It's not that long of a movie, but I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes until the credits kick in. You know, it's like pretty short. But, the fuck is he doing? Yeah, so I don't know really exactly where to begin with. Oh my god, I keep like, look at that. I'm like shaving them. I'm cutting their ears off. Like that's all that I'm doing with. My aim is just so far. Ooh, I just haven't had time to play games, but whatever. No excuses. I have shit aim regardless. But anyway, yeah, I don't know where to start with this. I guess just start with the beginning of the movie. Um, it starts off with him, the pastor that becomes the what is it called? The eponymous. What is it? Character, titular character. I'm high. Yeah. So he's the main character, which is really funny. There's two characters in this, like two actors in this movie that like actually put in some pretty good consistency. And he's one of them. And it's just a silly movie. At times, it almost feels like Neil Breen level acting or like Seagal movie level acting, but it's got more heart. It's more charming than that. But he's out front of the church with his parents, right? And they're like a loving family, right? And then what is it? They go to their car, and well, they're like looking at him and waving, and they're smiling, they're happy. It's like very wholesome, right? And then all of a sudden, the car blows up, but it kind of sets the tone for how the movie is. Instead of it showing like any sort of explosion or anything, it just says it's like a little box like in editing, right, where it says VFX car explosion or something like that, because obviously it's a small scale movie and that sets the tone. So, and the guy's obviously screaming. He doesn't like, that's what I mean, like the consistency. The guy actually does a pretty good job staying consistent with his acting throughout the whole movie. Like he's a pretty convincing. He's pretty good at being a priest. He's just pretty good at, I don't know, he's putting in the work. And then there's a character in it. There's a prostitute, and she's a pretty good too with it, with the acting. And then some other ones are on and off. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Um, yeah, I can't remember exactly how he ends up there, but he ends up in the fucking forest, and this is like months later. It's not much like there hasn't been much time that's gone past between his parents' death and when the movie takes place. But somehow he ends up in the forest, or no, he goes to, that's what it is. He's soul searching, right? And he finds himself in China, which is actually probably like, I don't know, Minnesota or something, wherever the hell, I don't know where the hell they filmed this movie, but it's just American forest, right? And it's hilarious because it's just obvious. But he ends up in China, like soul searching or something like that, trying to like get answers from God. And he comes across, get this, dude, get this, Chinese ninja priests or something like that. Oh man, what it is like he sees this girl running through the forest and she's being chased. She's wearing a karate gi, right? A white belt karate gi. And she's wearing that like what's that like big sun hat that they have? I can't remember what it's called. It's that big like woven sun hat that, so like an Asian thing, I guess. But Oh, I forgot what gun I had. But she's being chased by the group of Chinese Chinese ninja priests. And she gets shot by an arrow in front of him, right? And she goes down and he's just like, "Are you okay?" And she's handing him this like claw, right? And she's like, "Destroy it, or they won't stop chasing you, or whatever, yada yada." And he doesn't understand what she's saying, you know. So he just like I think the ninjas catch up with them or something. The Chinese ninjas catch up with him, and he cuts himself on the thing on the claw, right? I don't know, somehow he gets away from the Chinese ninjas. Oh my god! And he gets back to his home, right? But he's like starting to feel like a hunger, right? He's going through something. And before this, like I guess you see the setup of like this priest this pimp that's just on the nose, just a bad guy, you know. And then that's where it sets up the prostitute chick who's got like it's set up that she has a big heart because she gives money to a bum when the priest is running away because, you know, shit's happening to him. Like the priest is walking past the bum and the prostitute at the same time. He's asking for change, and you know, she comes past the other way and gives the guy money. So that sets up that she's actually the prostitute with a big heart. So the pimp's all like telling her, you know, go work the park at night, you know. Even like, I don't know, he's like, make a lot of money doing that, even though it's like really dangerous or whatever. The guy's a real jagoff, but it's like he's really hammy. The actor's awesome. It's shit, but you know, I love the guy. He does a great job, in my opinion. It's so funny. I don't know, but because he's just so on the nose, you know. That's stereotypical. Come on. And the guy looks like he's having fun with it, so, you know, you got to appreciate that. But anyway, she ends up getting attacked in the park at night, obviously, right? But then, you know, the pastor's in the woods too, right? And he starts to change, and he turns into like it's a suit. Really, it's a costume. Like it's something you would see at like a kid's party, you know. And he turns into the VelociPastor and kills the guy and saves a prostitute, right? In a scene that's just like, I don't know, it's a fucking 10 out of 10. You guys gotta watch the movie. It's free, or it's on Prime, I think too. But I watched it. For free. I was like, whatever, just Tubi or some shit. He like wakes up in her apartment. She takes him home, you know, and he thinks like she's explaining trying to explain vaguely what happened, but he thinks that they did it, you know. And he's like a Catholic priest. He's like, oh shit. So, but like it's actually a pretty funny setup. She's just like, he's like, is it your first time too? She's like, yeah. Man, I might be able to actually fill a whole video rambling about this short ass movie because it's just so funny. But anyway, yeah, eventually the truth comes out. She tells him, you know, like, you turned into a dinosaur and killed that guy and saved my life. And, like, obviously he's conflicted because, you know, he's a Catholic priest. And, you know, he doesn't want to kill anybody. Side note, he has a priest buddy. He's an older guy. It's like his mentor, right? And his friend. And he's like something out of a Neil Breen movie, except for just a little bit better. Because when they show... I don't know, there's a flashback that they have of him that shows kind of his, like, just add a little bit more character to him. He was in Nam, and like his buddy, like they had this funny setup of like a war buddy, like you're gonna live your life and you're gonna name a kid after me. And it's so funny too because it's the same actor playing this kid. You know, it's the old man priest playing like this kid in Vietnam, probably like 20 years old in Vietnam. So it's this old dude. It's funny. I don't know. If I can find pictures, I will put them up. You know, if Google's got some good pictures, I will put them in the video. So, but yeah, it's just funny. And then the guy gets shot in front of him, and it and then his wife his girl that he was gonna go and marry and have all these kids with and all this, and name one after his war buddy and all this shit. Like she ends up she shows up in Nam, right, which is really the woods in Wisconsin or something, and. She steps on a landmine like 3 feet in front of him and blows up. So his whole life just goes to shit. And that's why he becomes a priest. It is just so like quick, fast, and boom on the. I don't know. It was a good one. I liked his backstory, but the acting. The guy. It is mean saying Neil Breen. He's better than that. He's a little bit better than a Neil Breen movie. Those people are all like they're not actors. I think this guy might kind of be. I don't know. He's a little bit better than that, to be honest. Eat shit. Oh, come on, really? You're that resistant? Oh no, he was already fucking dead. Anyway, like the priest ends up like just trying to get over it and like just going back to business as usual. He shows up to confession, and guess who's in the confession booth? It's the evil or the on the nose evil pimp guy, who ends up being also an assassin and all this other shit, drug dealer. Like the guy's just an all around jag off piece of shit. And also it's revealed that he killed the priest's parents, and then the priest like loses. He was like, "You even killed one of your." It's so funny. The guy's admitting all of his crimes and shit like that, and I'm pretty sure that if you go to confession and you admit to all this shit, the priest is obligated to turn you into the police instead. So I don't know. It's just fucking hilarious. And then the guy obviously snaps, turns partially into the VelociPastor. It's just his hands, and he like breaks through the what is it, the like mesh between. The thing that they talk in between. And he he interrogates him like who did it and why and all, like who I don't even know why they did it. I can't even remember. But he did it, and you know the priest just kills him. And then that's pretty much when he realizes that like ooh, some people are beyond redemption. Or something like that. Like some of these, like the prostitute also like convinces him that like, you know, a lot of these pedos and bad people that get out or they're able to like confess and all this shit and then be, you know, allowed, and I mean whatever, release. She says release, go free, but it's just like, does she mean, you know, like the people that like repent and then get after doing terrible things and they still get into heaven? I don't know if that's what she was getting at, but it's just, either way it was it just kind of didn't make much sense what she was saying. What, like, oh man. But then they like agree like to just kill bad people, the bad people, you know, pretty much. And I think there's a montage of that happening because it's a goofy, like I think the tags for the movie are hilarious and stuff like that. Like it's really just like a really goofy kind of movie. It's not like fucking like slapsticky weird. Like I said, like the acting in it is not the worst, but you can tell that a couple, like some of the people in it are just like, you know, I don't want to be too mean, but like acting school rejects or something, you know what I mean? Like they're not, they got a lot of heart, but not much talent. There you go. Yeah, and to be honest, I didn't do much research on the core of this movie, so I don't know if these people are just like making a budget movie and none of them are really actors, or they just hired a couple actors. Like I have no idea, so it is what it is. It's just a funny, goofy movie to me. But anyway, moving on. We still got to cover a couple of things in this short-ass movie, and I don't have a lot of time left in the game. It's kind of surprising. But anyway, time is kind of just going by. There's like a montage type thing of like the guy, the priest and the prostitute going around and like just doing the bad, killing bad people, whatever. And all the while that priest buddy is like, well, he's all worried, right? He's like, something's wrong with him, and you know he's gonna try and intervene. You know, so like he ends up like going into his room one day at the or whatever it's called. Like, is it at the church or it's like an apartment that they stay in? I don't know how it works, but oh shit. Oh, but yeah, so he ends up, the priest, like, they have a little bit of a talk. The priest is just like, I think you're, like, possessed or whatever, because I think the VelociPastor ends up saying, like, he ends up telling him what's up, and the guy doesn't believe him, and, you know. But then he goes and he sets up, like, an exorcism with some occult guy, and that's how, when you find out that guy's the older priest backstory with Nam and all that shit, so. But, Yeah, the guy's an occultist, something that you would see one of the guys on, like, have you seen Ghost Adventures when they have like the fucking satanic priests and the cringe lords and shit like that, I mean, the show's already bullshit. I mean, it's enjoyable entertainment, don't get me wrong. If you like it, you'll like it. I don't know. I'll put it on just because it's fucking it's entertainment. I don't know. I like ghost hunting shows. And I take them as they are, just like I take everything else as it is, It is what it is. But anyway, yeah, so that ends up going south. They bring out the raptor, which is really just like a mini T-Rex. Oh shit, which is like a mini T-Rex kinda. But he doesn't fully transform. He rips out his priest buddy's eye, and you think he's dead, right? But he's not. He ends up being fine, and he gets kidnapped by this side group that is the Chinese the Chinese ninja priest, right? And then it like sets him up, the Chinese ninja priest guy, right? And he's also like talking about drugs and stuff, which we'll find out about, and then there's this white Chinese ninja priest. Oh, it's just so ridiculous to me. I'm sorry, but that he like his whole setup is he's just kind of like a hammy actor. The kid's he just plays into it, I guess. He laughs like an idiot. It works with the character because it's not supposed to be taken serious. But anyway, so there's that priest gets caught up with them, right? And you find out that they want to get people addicted to cocaine that's like 10 times more addictive than normal cocaine or whatever. And then they'll cut off the supply so that people have no other choice other than to go to like a church or a support group or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that guy's playing some 4K chess right there. Yeah, he is kind of a man of faith, you know what I mean? Like that's what his intentions are, to grow the church and whatever, but it's just so bad, it's funny, it's, I don't know. Plus the guy's accent, you guys gotta watch the movie. I don't know, somewhere in there, I think it was after all this stuff, he's feeling really guilty about attacking his friend and thinking that he killed him and all this shit, which I think the Chinese ninja priest guy ends up killing him. After he tells him the plan, the one guy, he's a good guy, the old man, and he's just like, I can't let you do this, and then he gets stabbed and yada yada, I don't know. Yeah, somewhere in there's this really long love scene that, like, I was like, why is this movie rated mature, right? It's rated MA. And I was like, well, there has to be some TNA in there or something then, because just the language can't be it, right? Well, it is, because nothing happens, right? It's just kind of an overdrawn out, like, clip show of them kind of like snuggling and getting undressed, like partially, like she's still got her her bra on and everything. I'm like, this chick, like I like the actress though, like she's actually not bad too, so it makes it even funnier to me, the fact that it's just like she's gonna play this prostitute but like barely show any skin, and I respect that. I actually respect that. But, well, I mean, you know what I mean. She doesn't show, she wears some iffy outfits, but it's not like, she's not really showing much tit or nipple or anything like that, or, you know what I mean. It's not. Yeah, she's pretty modest when it comes down to being, like, a prostitute, let's just say. But anyway, like, yeah, so there's that, and then they end up, like, I don't know how they find out. I can't remember how he finds out where the Chinese ninja priests are located, but they end up going there because, well, you end up finding out that he's something called like a lizard warrior or something like that. That's why they were trying to get the claw. Is like there used to be a bunch of him, and I guess they used to, I don't know what. Oh shit. I can't remember if they were a part of a church or like then they were used for a church or not. I don't know. But the Chinese ninja priest guy wants to get rid of them. So I don't know. Like there's like an epic raid where, or no, hold on. Yeah, they're in the apartment, or the prostitute's apartment, and like 3 or 4 Chinese ninja priest guys jump in, and like it's just like a terrible kung fu scene. How, like, where I was asking myself, when did these two learn martial arts? Because the priest and the prostitute are just like Bruce Leeing it, kind of, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, like the best of their abilities, you know. But it just was hilarious. I'm like, what are these guys? Now they're fighting. Now it's a kung fu fight. or karate or whatever it is. Oh, this movie was great, I gotta say. The more I think about it and explain it, I'm like, yeah, it was actually a lot more fun. I respect it. Oh yeah, I think that's how they find out where the base is. Maybe they interrogate one of them that they beat up in the apartment. Yeah, see, I don't take notes and I don't write a script or nothing like that. This is all just like me just fucking chilling and playing a game and talking about stuff, you know. So, so anyway, they're in the woods and they end up like winning, I guess, but then not winning because they are just like beating up the fodder, I guess, right? Because then there's this big guy that comes out, which obviously bigger is better, more intimidating, right? And he just looks like a giant, like wannabe ninja, which is fucking hilarious. He's not even that big, dude. He's kind of skinny. But anyway, he pulls out a sword all slowly and goes up to the chick that was beating the crap out of a bunch of guys, right? And because she, now she's like fucking Jackie Chan or something. Oh man. Oh no. So like. He walks up to her all slowly and then slices her across her chest, right? So then, the VelociPastor comes and, they have their little moment. And then, like, she's all, like, she's just got a slash across her chest, which would probably suck, right? But it's not fatal. But they've set it up like it is. And so she's all, like, spitting out blood and stuff like that. And I respect it. Like, she's, like, kind of choking on it a little bit. It's just kind of funny. It adds to it because she, like, kind of goes with it, I don't know. I think it's funny. But anyway, like that adds to a new thing. Like he thinks she's dead, so now he's extra pissed off. He turns and fucks up a bunch of the and you actually get like a full view of what the Velociraptor looks like. And like cuz now he's like beating the shit out of like all these ninjas. And you can see his hand come out of the mouth and grab the fake arm that's attached to to the actor or whatever, you know what I mean? He's like going to rip his arm off, like, and you could just see his hand grab the prosthetic. It's pretty funny, dude. I don't know, it's really funny. But then like he gets shot, like after he takes out all the fodder, right? All the all the trash, right? He come on, I just want to kill you. He gets shot with an arrow with a toxin on it that like nullifies the whole ninja warrior, lizard warrior, whatever, dinosaur warrior thing. So he turns back into a human, and the Chinese guy like has a monologue that's like really broken English, and like some of the like, oh yeah, hold on, as the chick was beating up all the fucking the Chinese ninja priest guys, right, the fodder, he was fighting the guy, the really annoying guy that was laughing with the priest, right, because you find out that that's his brother. That was like a black sheep that the parents didn't even really acknowledge, right? And so then there's that battle where like it's like, both of us found the cloth and I'm better and da-da-da-da, whatever. The younger brother just hates him irrationally, right? Because he was the favorite of the family. So then, obviously VelociPastor kills him. He just takes something to do with their ancestor sword or power or something. It really has a stupid thing there. I don't know, but yeah, that happened. And then like as he's sitting there with like the arrow in his leg, right? The Chinese priest, the ninja priest, is like taunting him, mocking him, speaking broken English, and then like I think he's playing into it a little bit, but but then he's just like, oh, I guess something about the antidote not working on his hands or something. So then he like reaches up with his claw and rips out the fucking guys. No, he rips his head off, and it switches. Hold on, yeah, he rips his head off, and it's really bad. Like it's a mannequin head that he's holding, and he's yelling. And the guy, like I said, this guy actually puts in a performance as the VelociPastor, and also the Chinese guy before he's about to seemingly kill him. He says he calls him VelociPastor, and I almost fucking shit my pants laughing. I'm like, they actually said it. That's so great. Like, but then the movie just like kind of ends. Like you find out that the prostitute lives, right? And then like, but not only does she live, but now she's pregnant. And I don't know. Like he's still a VelociPastor, and I suppose he's out there, protecting all of us. Thank God. I guess I think if I read proper, I don't know. I've looked up a couple of movies and read about a couple of movies just out of curiosity, like recently, just to see what the hell they were. Yeah, Hans. And I think I think that they do have a second one in production if it's not already made, and they're just searching for a distributor or whatever. I don't know. So, but I'm interested to see that. I don't know. Yeah, the movie wasn't like I wouldn't call it really like awful, right? It was because it's self-aware, it's low budget. They did what they can. God, I forgot that this kind of sucks. The commando fight against Hans isn't as fun as some of the other ones that I do. No. Damn. I'm getting these fucking trash. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was a charming movie, I'd call it. You know, it's a self-aware, goofy movie, you know, and it doesn't take up much of your time. So I like that. When they're self-aware and they know not to take up too much of your time. That's always nice. Because, like, so many movies are just so convoluted and long and want to take so much time from you for nothing. Like there are, like I said, there are a couple of drawn out parts in this movie to like try and maybe stretch it a little bit. But it wasn't really too egregious. It wasn't really too bad. Like that one love scene or whatever, that wasn't really a love scene. It was a little drawn out. There's a couple parts like that, but they're not awful, you know. They tried for sure. Pistol. I maxed that out again. Fucking blew his head off with the pistola. Fuck you, Hans. Hell yeah. Well, if you stuck around this long, I really appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen that movie? Yeah, like I said, I just saw it, and I'm just like the cover, the poster, the movie poster that I'll probably put in this video at some point. That's what drew me in, and I knew that it wasn't going to be any like even mid-budget type of movie. I knew it was going to be a very low-budget movie, but it wasn't really. It wasn't awful. It kind of keeps you. What is it? It kind of keeps you engaged, I guess. You know, there's not really much of a freaking like story because like it goes from him just being like conflicted to accepting it, and then all of a sudden like the last like 20-30 minutes they drop. I mean that's like half the movie, but like the last like 20 minutes I think they like drop that whole Chinese ninja priest guy being like a drug dealer too, you know. So it's like, they had to have something in there, but I don't know. It was interesting enough, and like I said, it's not that like 70 minutes. You know, that ain't shit. I don't know, a little over an hour, but anyway, I'll stop ranting and rambling and let you get on with your day or night. If you would just please consider doing all the things that YouTube likes and that I appreciate very, very much. Thank you so much for hanging out. It really does mean the world to me. I know I say that all the time, and it's kind of like sounds like it's on autopilot, but I really do mean all of this. You know, I really do appreciate you guys. It means so much to me. But anyway, you have a good one, and I will catch you on the next one.